what you think is.
I think we're about ready. Said everybody's here.
Good afternoon, KSB. I'm Gregory. I'm with the Louisville Folk School, and we have something very special for you today. We have a concert with a group called The Onlies, and they're going to tell you all about themselves. Yeah, go ahead. The Onlies have been traveling around the country, recording, playing concerts, and now we have them in Louisville. We're really excited about that. They're performing in schools for 2 days, and then on Friday, they have a concert at Hotel and Museum 21C downtown. So any of you who would like to come and see the concert, you can check it out online, louisvillefolkschool.org. And that you can get tickets there. You can come and get them at the door. We would love to see some of you for the concert. We also have, hey, this is important for you, if you want to learn how to play this kind of music on some of these instruments, and I'm looking at guitar, a banjo, and a couple of fiddles up here. We have summer camps from the Louisville Folk School, and those I'm going to be sending flyers home with you today. So I have those with me, and I'll give them to the teachers, or tomorrow, either way. But you can find out about that summer camps. They are in July, and we would love to see some of you for those too, especially if this is the kind of music that gets you excited. I'm not going to say too much more. I know they're going to have questions and answer time, so if you do have something that you want to know from them, you can ask in a little while. But here we go, a warm KSB welcome for The Onlies.
We're a band called Onlies, and we play the fiddle and the guitar and the banjo. And we also sing a little bit. So I'm going to sing a song here called The Gold Watch and Chain.
was first sang by a family that lived in Virginia named the Carter family. on to many different bands since then. And then we went into a fiddle tune that was written by a friend of ours who lives actually in Seattle, Washington, which is where the three of us, Riley, Leo, and I, grew up in Seattle playing this music, even though it's far from where this music comes from. Do you guys know what the difference is between a fiddle and a violin?
Yeah.
Well, it's a trick question because it's the same exact instrument. It's just different the way you play it. And we call it fiddles because we're playing music that we learned with our ears. We're not having to look at sheet music to read the classical, or we're not in an orchestra or quartet or symphony, but you'd call it a violin in that setting, but in the fiddle music setting, where we're playing for people dancing or for having a good time, it's called fiddling.
All right, well, Riley's gonna start us off here with a little piece on the banjo called Geese Honkin'. So you gotta listen to see if you can hear geese honking.
banjo off to Leo. My name is Riley, and I can play the banjo for you. I'm going to switch over to the fiddle, but we were here this morning talking to folks that one of the most famous figures of old-time music, which is what we're playing for you, Appalachian music, and a Kentuckian, Ella Haley, played mandolin, went to KSB. Did you all know that? That's pretty cool. So, yes, Ella was married to someone named Ed Haley, and Ed Haley played the fiddle, and they together played some of the most influential music. Anyway, so we're going to play you an Ed Haley tune, an Ed and Ella Haley tune. Now it's called Dunbar, named after a very famous horse. And another famous alumni, have you heard of Michael Cleveland? Michael Cleveland is also a great fiddle player, and he went here as well. So we're very honored to be visiting you all today because this school has had a lot to do with the past of fiddle music. I'm gonna grab the fiddle. We don't have a mandolin, but maybe she strummed it really nice and hard. So I'm going to try to strum my fiddle kind of like her, and Sammy's going to kick off dump off.
All right.
Halfway through, I thought it might be fun. And that other tune, the first tune, like I said, was called Dunbar, and the second tune is called Gray Eagle, Old Time Gray Eagle, and that was also named after a horse, and named Gray Eagle. And back in the old days, there was a very famous horse race in Kentucky, and it was Dunbar versus Gray Eagle. So we played you both of the horses there, and we played actually two different versions of the Gray Eagle, one from Alan Sisson and one from J.P. Fraley. So that's all the information you need to know about that there.
As you can tell, we're a little bit nerdy about fiddle music, which we would would say is a cool thing. Do any of you guys play an instrument? Yeah? Do you like tuning your instrument? Takes up a lot of time sometimes, but it's worth it. Makes it sound nice. Riley and Leo and me, the three of us started this band when we were actually only 7 years old. This was back when we all lived in Seattle, and we would go to this folk festival in Seattle. It's called Folk Life, and we would kind of put out a music or a instrument case and busk. We'd play fiddle. All three of us would play the fiddle and ask for tips and play on the street at this folk festival. And then I think we donated all that money back to the festival, which was really nice of us. But it was a really great way to practice being in a band, just kind of playing for people. And then one year we applied to play on one of the stages at the festival, and that felt really exciting when we were about 10 years old. So that's kind of when we feel like we started the band officially. But it's really great if you guys play music to play with other people and try to form a band if you feel like it. Just play with people and see if it feels good. And if so, you can play with a band for as long as we have, which is a lot of years at this point, even though we're not super old.
Viv's going to sing you a song now. Viv's going to play you the guitar, and she's going to sing a song. She's, like Sammy said, three of us grew up in Seattle, Washington, but Viv grew up in Lexington, Virginia, and she grew up playing music as well. Her parents are really great musicians. And she's going to sing you a railroading song that we learned from Aunt Molly Jackson. This one is about telling your boss that you've had enough of him.
Thank you.
that comes from over near where I live. This is Leo. I live over in Whitesburg, Kentucky, over on the far eastern part of the state. And that's a tune that I learned from my friend John Hayward there. I think we're gonna do a little Q&A now.
Check.
We've got a little microphone we can bring around.
We're gonna open it up for questions. So think for a second about if you have any questions for us. It could be about music, it could be about ourselves, or just something you're wondering about. And we're gonna pass it to your music teacher, Miss Campbell.
All right, who's got a question?
I got one.
Me. All right. Hey, you want the mic?
Yeah. So, I'm asking, where was the geese honk thing in the geese honk song? Where was it? I didn't know where to hear it, like where the find dance is.
Well, it was a little abstract, but I was thinking the part that starts at the very beginning. So you played on the banjo.
We're in different key now.
Yeah, we're in a super different tuning, so it sounds a little funky right now. But what is that low? I had a fiddle student one time, and I was showing her the different strings on the fiddle, and I played that one. She said, "That's goose."
Now it sounds like
That's a good question.
All right, Krishna wants to say something.
Hey, all I want to say is I enjoyed the music.
Aw, thank you. Miss Fisher has a question.
Have any of you all dabbled in any other genres of music?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we all have dabbled in different music. So Riley and I are songwriters as well. We write a lot of our own music that is not necessarily old time. It kind of crosses into folk and a little pop, a little rock, you know. So we do some drums. We play drums and electric guitars, and you know, we do other stuff as well.
Yeah. Also, the three of us who play fiddle, Riley and Leo and I, we like to play sometimes Irish fiddle music, and I love to play music from Cape Breton Island in Canada, which is a very specific fiddle tradition. And other places around, there's fiddle traditions all over the world, and it's kind of fun to learn little pieces of music from all the different fiddle styles to enrich the other styles you play. Yeah.
How many more questions would you guys like? Because there's a lot of hands.
Oh yeah, let's go for it.
Just keep going.
Yeah. All right, and this is John.
How do you guys play New York? It's called Middletown Blues.
I don't think we know that one.
Yeah, we'll have to learn that.
Yeah.
Who's that by?
The breaks it on.
New York.
Oh, New York. That would be a great one for us to learn. I don't know. We haven't done it yet. We haven't dipped into Sinatra repertoire, but maybe someday.
But I used to play that kind of music in high school. I played jazz guitar.
Nice. Oh yeah.
Hi, my name is Savannah, but what is one of y'all's favorite songs y'all play?
One that we played today, or one that we haven't played?
Like one that y'all like that y'all play.
That we played today.
We like everything we just played, I think.
Yeah.
My favorite, sometimes it's fun to do songs that we don't do very often, so that what's it, honkin' tune? That was really fun for me because we never get to play that, so it was very fresh. Yeah.
Thanks for the question.
All right, so we're gonna hear from Bradley and then Rylan.
Does anybody do any of you all like country music?
Oh
Yeah, we do.
Yes. That's the other thing. We also sometimes have played as a honky tonk band as well. We do that sometimes.
Do you like country music?
Yes.
Who's your favorite country artist?
Luke Bryan.
So it's country music. So what year did country music came down?
Sammy's actually a tour guide at the Country Music Hall of Fame, so I'm going to turn this one over to her.
Well, I feel like you can trace the history of country music to, it started out with these three instruments, fiddle, banjo, guitar, which we can talk a little bit about each of these instruments. The fiddle, which I already told you, is same looking as a violin, but it sounds different the way you play it. That one came with people from Scotland and Ireland, across the Atlantic when they immigrated here. The banjo was kind of rebuilt, recreated, based off an African instrument. So it was kind of these two worlds coming together that hadn't played together before. And then the guitar also came from European travelers. And then, so that string band music was the beginning of it, but it grew into many other styles. There was the Grand Ole Opry, which started in the 1920s, where people played country music on stage. And then it grew into like people like Elvis Presley playing rock and roll music and rockabilly, and there's been so many different influences, but it has been a long time. I don't know where the very beginning of it is, other than this string band music.
But you're right, it did come down from above at one point or another, and now it's with us.
All right, and then next we've got Allison. What's the hardest song you all have ever played?
Leo said that he played Blue Rondo à la Turk in high school for jazz. I played classical music. I played the Bach Chaconne. That's very hard.
Yeah.
Sammy, what's the hardest song you've ever played?
Well, I tried to learn some more notey. I would say the tunes of Ed Haley can be pretty complicated sometimes. Like his Blackberry Blossom, that's a complicated tune.
Yeah.
Garfield's Blackberry Blossom.
Yeah, thank you.
And here's Anna Shea.
Hey guys, I just want to say, hey, y'all did a good job, and everyone to get one more round of applause.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that so much. It's a pleasure to play for you guys.
All right, and here's Corbin.
Hi guys, I'd like to say, well, your music was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Corbin. Appreciate that.
Oh, and I'd rather say that y'all are very nice, and I would rather to be singing with y'all.
Yeah, we should all sing this something together maybe here. We'll do a song here in a second. We'll do it all together. You can be our singer.
All right. What if we wrap it up with one more question?
Yeah, we're gonna take one more question, then we're all gonna sing a song together. Maybe two more questions, if that's a hand back there. We'll do, because you've been waiting so patiently. We'll do two more questions.
What's your favorite color?
My favorite color is, right now, it's purple. And someone in the bathroom, a very kind person in the bathroom, complimented me on my purple shirt. You know who you are. I appreciate it. Okay, we're gonna take one more question.
All right, the last question is Josiah.
What's the hardest instrument you ever played?
For me, we can all answer that question, but we've been playing the fiddle up here. I think the fiddle is a very tricky instrument because you don't have any frets. You don't know where your fingers are supposed to go in terms of like sliding around and stuff. And then you gotta play the bow, and it's nice. It's all slippery. That's a hard instrument. So I think we all unanimously say the fiddle, but that doesn't mean that you all shouldn't try to play the fiddle.
Although we've never really experimented with horns or wind instruments. Those also seem hard, but we haven't tried those.
So should we do our band?
Yeah. Why don't we do a song where you can all sing with us? Does that sound good?
Okay. So this is a song from Reverend Gary Davis. We learned it though from our friend Eric. And it's called I Belong to the Band. And we're hoping that you all would sing the chorus with us. Okay, so here's how the chorus goes. I'll sing a little bit, and then will you sing it back to me, kind of call and response? So I'm gonna sing a little bit. So here we go. Hallelujah. do those together. 1, 2, 3. Hallelujah, hallelujah. And then here's the last bit. That sounded great. So, I belong to the band. Hallelujah. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.